today I thought that I will start from the one by one AOCs, how to collect the evidence, and again how to present the evidence. So similar housekeeping rules. Please keep your mic mute because I know when you join on Zoom, it's automatically unmute. And again, disclaimer is there, my usual one. And these four documents, every time I say that, please have a look at those. What's the standard of assessment? This is again mutual and common one slide for all my presentations. So starting from the 7 generic and 4 specialty. So the interesting thing is that I'm getting messages from other subspecialties also. So the generic ones, these are similar to all the subspecialties for all the portfolio pathway. But of course, for us, I'll focus on histopathology only. Okay, this one is the most important slide for today, I would say. Uh, Try to start from cloud-based documentation and folders as per the verify performa. You can make folders. However, for each hospital or for each place of work where you need to get verification, separate verification. So you can make it according to verify performa headings, or you can make it according to the CIP tab headings. Submitting your evidence is from my last presentation, that anonymization, verification, authentication, and translation. So these are the few things which you should know before you start your. Then people were asking that how to make the cloud-based storage. So you can use Google Drive, you can use OneDrive, Dropbox, any of these, and make. I started with Caesar heading, and why I always suggest that I repeat the story also every time, that my laptop crashed during the last minute, and luckily my son was able to save the documents from that, because the good thing about these drives is that you can access them from anywhere. So even if you switch countries, and you don't have your laptop with you, these are web-based storage, so you can use those from anywhere and keep the folder live in that. So anytime you update a document or you put a document, put it in the cloud storage. Okay, and then how to make folders? I would say you can go for the verify performer headings, or you can go like this. So AOC1 is verification of your evidence. So make a folder, keep it over there, because verify performer you will fill towards the end of your application. But you can put your empty verify performer in that for each hospital. Then, so AOC, area of competencies, so you can say evidence of training and qualification. So now from today, I will touch those one by one and try to maximally, complete that. So this screenshot is from GMC. Once you open your application, this is how the evidence summary or evidence submission looks like. And because people get confused and they don't know before they open the application, although GMC has given some guidelines and everything, but the detail is not there. So first is verification, and then once you click on that, on this AOC1, in the blue on the left upper side, this opens. And then doctor comments in first submission. So you can say, again, this was from the application, GMC application. So you can put up the comments that what documents you are submitting. So these things, organization is one of the best things. And I have seen now that people are trying to, assess the applications quickly, and because there are a lot of loads of application in the queue. So first is verification, and I have touched verification in my other session. So if you want, you can just go back and watch that how to verify your evidence. Then second is evidence of training and qualification. So the GMC guidance or SSG guidance is primary medical qualification, specialist medical qualification, research specialist training, specialist registration outside UK, and other recent qualification and certificates. So literally, people sometimes don't have an idea that how to get the PMC, your PMQ, like primary medical qualification, verified, and how to do that, and then evidence of training and qualifications and employment. So this is from SSG guideline and evidence of training qualifications. What you do have to do is that your primary medical qualification, you have to get it primary source verification done. And how to do that? It is through ECFMG. And then you have to, this is from GMC. So primary source verification for international IMGs, international medical graduates, how to do that? You have to go through the ECFMG and through their online system and get your primary medical qualification verified. So people who are working in the UK would have already got that. But if you are from outside, then you can go through that portal. And then one by one, you can get the guide from that. But even sometimes, people don't know how to start and where to start. So before even thinking of doing portfolio pathway or, going through this process, if you are not UK registered, like GMC registered, please go through that. But people who have done the GMC registration would have already gone through that pathway, the IMGs. Okay, so what's the specialist medical qualification? Of course, FRC PATH holds the largest value. And people do say that without FRC PATH, yes, you can be, and there are rare examples. I would not even say uncommon, rare examples are there. However, I would suggest again that kindly don't try to do it without FRC PATH, because once you have done the FRC PATH, then it's very robust evidence. So FRC PATH degree would be there, and you don't need verification for that, of course, because Royal College would have already got your fellowship number. So you just need to put up a scanned copy for that. And again, they do say that if you don't have FRC PATH, you should have the evidence of some national or international postgraduate examination. So apart from Canadian or American and some European, I have not seen many being submitted, to be honest, or many being accepted. So it's not that those exams are not of value, not at all. But the thing is that to equate it to the FRC path different domains, it's difficult. Okay, so the second last line. So an evaluation based on applicant's whole career. So two applicants with the same qualifications but different training experience may have different decision. So again, with FRC path even, sometimes your experience would be much more valuable than someone else's or vice versa. So it's not like that if you have done FRC path, your application would be immediately accepted. Okay, so next slide is recent specialist training. And if you have done specialist training program in the past 10 years, then you have to. Previously, it was used to be like past 5 years. Now it's like because of the portfolio pathway, they have widened the time period. So you can do that for past 10 years, and please provide an authenticated copy of curriculum or syllabus. And then if the formal curriculum is not available, then even you can provide a letter from the awarding body. But it is required only if you have done in the past 10 years. I got my curriculum verified and authenticated, but I didn't submit, and because I didn't need to. You should provide evidence of formal periodic assessment during your training. If in UK, again, of course, it's different. But if from outside UK, then you can provide their assessments, yearly assessments or monthly assessment, like whatever is their pathway. I would rather suggest that please do provide if you have done, especially if you have done slightly like more recent training, maybe in the past 5 years. Okay, so other relevant qualifications, then you can do submit the diploma or certificates for chat or cytology or other teaching, management, research. So you can provide the copies of certificates. So we have covered AOC 1 and OC2. Yeah, Divya, yes, I will go through one by one for the appraisals also. I think because it's only for training and qualification, and appraisals will come later on. And evidence of employment in posts and duties. So that is CV. CV again, I have touched before. And then you can submit employment letters and contracts of employment. After that, and job descriptions. So people say sometimes, they ask that CV, of course, I have touched that how to formulate and how to organize your CV as per the GMC guidelines. And again, you can go back to that session and have a look. And that is again very important because your CV is your, like, people don't know you, assessors don't know you, GMC doesn't know you personally. So it is your CV which will be most important bit, which will tell that who are you actually. And then employment letters and contracts of employment. So again, it's a bit tricky for sometimes we have very simple employment letters from outside, and sometimes people may find it strange. People do ask me that they don't have even specific contract or like detailed contract. So one liner or two liner, something of the sort. So I would suggest in that what should you do if you don't have from outside UK, and that you can make your own JD, job description, and of course not your own, and then you can detail those JDs, and those again employment letters, contract of employment needs to be, CV doesn't need to be verified, but JDs and letters and contracts, those need to be verified. So, of course, if you are even outlining your job description by yourself, the verifier will verify that. And again, I would say that don't take it very lightly. Job description is very important. And because we are from different countries, and an assistant professor or a senior registrar or a consultant, a junior consultant or a senior consultant might be doing very different duties in different countries. So your JD should be very like robust again. And you can just say that your duties tell about touch from histopathology, cytopathology. If you are doing any sort of autopsies, like I always give example that in my previous place and in Saudi Arabia, I was doing reports for autopsies, medical legal autopsies, but we were not doing the proper dissection and everything. However, I added up those things because those are important. That microscopic description, although the JD over there, it was not that component was not included. The the autopsy component. It might not have got any weightage, but if assessor sees that you have got an experience before also, that type of thing, be, easier. So, CV, up-to-date CV, I have touched on that. Employment letters. And then this is very important, the dates you were in post title, grade, training, whatever, and type of employment, whether permanent, whether fixed term, and part time, or including the percentage of WTE, whole time equivalent. So these things might not be there, so don't worry at all. But if in the employment letter, because of course you can't change your employment letter otherwise, and you will submit whatever you have got. So job description should be the thing that if you see the job description tabs, that your clinical and non-clinical commitment and your involvement in teaching and training. So these things might not be evident in your employment letter, but you can put it over there, that what were your clinical commitments, what were your non-clinical or management commitments, your involvement in teaching and training. So if JD is not provided by your employer, you can make it for yourself and get it verified. So I was again lucky that previously where I worked, there was like 80% clinical and 10% academic and 10% research. So it was very organized, the employment ladder. But you may not have that. And one place I had that, and one place I didn't. So for the second place, I had to do that, and then no one was guiding, really. Don't get worried about that, and you can make your job description a bit robust. Okay, so then this is the most important thing I would say in the your Caesar application after your CV, that evidence to demonstrate core competencies. So over here, what you have to do is that again you have to do again KSE, knowledge, skills, and experience. So over here, so you can put your logbook, put your you know different that was from one of the applicants, and you can put histopathology logbooks, you can put cytopathology logbooks, and then you can put your workplace-based assessments, and then you can put. So I got an question in the group that workplace-based assessments need to be evidenced. Yes, those need to be evidenced, and those need to be mentioned, and those need to be verified also. And from logbooks, I have already, I think in previous session, I touched the headings for various logbooks, and there you can have that headings, and now because two things. One is independent reporting, and second is your like subspecialty breadth and depth. So if you have done for various subspecialties, again you have to quantify that, or you have to at least evidence that. So from the start, if you can put it in your logbook, that would be great. That like for example gynae and skin and respiratory and GI, and if you can sub categorize those as complexity, so excisions and biopsies. So, what kind of specimens? So, I saw very lovely logbook of a certain applicant that they have highlighted all there, because I think they couldn't do it from the start. So, they had highlighted all the excisions of specimens, and then summary sheets. So if I can take a session, just give me feedback for that, that if you know how to deal with Excel. If you don't know, then I can make a session that how to make summary sheets. And do let me know if you want that session. I can have one. Second, how to calculate percentages, how to calculate, make the graphs. So I can do one for the Excel, because really you need to be an expert in Excel also. Not an expert, but at least beginner level.